Today, we will talking several ways to blur a background of an AI photo. A common trick to highlight the main subject, widely used in pro photography. But how to realize a beautiful blur background in your AI photo? Let's first have a look to photo with blur background. Just use your intuitive feeling, pay attention to the blur background. Which one more natural, more like real camera shoot photo, not give you the feeling of fake, Photoshop post-edited or AI generated. I cut the chasing. The first one show the lowest level method, while the other one show the much more professional way. Can you see what's the difference between them? I think most people can feel that the advanced background blur look more natural with many layers of blur gradually goes to the subject. The leaf near the viewer are blurred, while the person in the middle going to sharp, and the blurred background is blurred again. If you shuffle it with bundle of other real photo, it won't be easy to tell which one is AI generated. Well, simple background blur is just have a blurred effect evenly on the background. Same level of blur mechanically applied to everywhere. The photo look flat, even out of themes, lost interests. So, how to achieve the pro-natural background in AI-generated photo? How to let the AI understand your taste, pay attention to render your ideal background. It's what we're going to talk in here. I pick a realistic style checkpoint model, use the following positive and negative prompt. To generate our sample, clear generate and let's see the result. We got a photo of a girl with clear background. That some main model already have built-in background blur effect. In this case, just go with its style, forcing it to be clear, which is often frustrating because it's related to its training data and the building-in set, unchangeable for user end. The simplest way to blur the background is to add a word, soft focus, a blur background. Let's set strength to 1.4 to emphasize its effect. It's more like using a blur filter in an image editing tool like Photoshop. This should be the lowest requirement for background blur. It's definitely better than the first one, but can we make it better? Let's add a word, depth of field. The term is actually a photographic jargon, usually appear in photography teaching book, and add its strength to 1.4 too. So it's easy to see the effect in comparison with the first one. You will find this kind of blur look more like it's shot with a camera lens instead of a post-edited images. You can sense the layer blur is stronger and more 3D feeling, and with these birds, even the edge of the photo have a darkened vignette, which is produced by the camera lens. So, how do we photographically explain depth of field? When the photographer focuses the entire focal plane on one subject, the surrounding object naturally becomes blurred, and the further away from the focal point, the stronger the blur. The depth of field affected by factors like focal length, aperture size, and types of lens. The shutter level, you can directly set the lens parameters, such as adding 56mm f1.4. Let's set a strength to 1.4 again and see the effect. Pay attention to the top of the person's head and the tree behind it. Do you see the bokeh effect of the lens? These two parameters means 56mm refer to the focal length of the lens, meaning the focus distance of the lens is 56mm, and this focal length is mainly used to shooting portraits, video shots, and close-up samples. f1.4 refers to the aperture size of the lens. The current aperture size is quite large. It allows more light to enter the camera and produce shallow depth of field too. We can generate more samples to let you see its special points. Even more, not even setting the lens parameter, but also specifies a lens style, such as adding Fuji XF 56mm f1.2 RWR. Many famous lens has its unique effect left by many pro photographers by adding the previous two parameters, making the effect even more unique. Add those words and set its strength to 1.4 again to see the final effects. Pay attention to the distortion of the tree on the background and feeling to the sharp focus face of the beautiful girls. Her angel-like smile match perfect. Does it look more like a professional photographer's masterpiece or even better than that? Because in real life, try to precisely arrange such a sense just simple not possible. You can only come across, not pre-order. In fact, adding a lens type and parameters can lead to many unexpected outcomes, such as the girl in a flower field we saw earlier, blur near the viewer, sharp on the person, and blur again in the background. It's also clear show effects like bokeh. If you pay close attention to the flower petal, the blur effect has turned it into a small light orbs. This cannot be achieved by a simple background blur effect. In addition, those lens parameters working great for light scenes, bring beautiful bokeh-like dot, greatly increase the charm of your photo